I spent 3 hours searching for blueprints after the expedition, testing the best blueprint farming methods, and this is what I found out. We started with the reinforced reception loot run. This is pretty straightforward. You run in with nothing, maybe a couple stims in your safe pocket, and run as fast as you can to the reinforced reception to breach open the room under there and see if you can find any augment blueprints. This place is super contested. That's the first thing I noticed. So you're not going to get all of the loot there every time. You really need to get lucky and get a spawn close enough and race there before the other players get to you. If you spawn too far away, there's no chance you're getting in this room. Thought I'd test it for 30 minutes to see how many blueprints I could find and how many times we could actually loot the room successfully. Okay, first run. Got the whole room to myself here. And it's only been, what, a couple minutes? Oh, okay. Nice. Well, starting off strong then. Starting off strong. If I find another augment blueprint, we're going to have to run to the extract. If not, I think we just surrender and go again, to be honest. Yeah, it's probably going to be a surrender. One final container. Let's go. Alright, should be good to go here. We've got his super rally. Predator outside. Nice. Another chance. Let's go. Ooh. No way. Okay. 2 for 2. That's insane. Oh, someone's going ahead of me. Okay, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Try, still got to go past the arc and breach the door. Basically, you've only got one spawn that makes you ahead of everybody else. Keep that in mind. He's locking the door behind him as well. He's trying to be sneaky and everything. That's crazy. He's going to lock the door behind him. That's nuts. Oh, there's 2 people in here already. That's hilarious. This is where our expert knowledge needs to come in handy, dude. How many items in here? Yeah. Back go upstairs quickly. So we got a quite close spawn there, but we still couldn't get there before them. Which is wild. Okay. So far, though, it's been pretty effective. Can't lie. Right, one failed run. For the next 3 runs, I just kept spawning too far away to even make it worth running to the reinforced reception, so I just surrendered and went again to try and make the most out of my 30 minutes. Even this, yeah, we'll get there in time. We'll try it just to test. 300 meters, pretty close, right? But pretty sure this is still too far away. Maybe we get lucky. Maybe nobody else went here. There's a chance. There's a chance. Oh, maybe we are the first one here. You know what? I think we are. No, we're not. We are not. Look at that. Someone's already in here. One last container. Yeah. So you can see the issue we have. You got to be close enough or you're out of luck. Yeah, we're not making that one. Miles away. Oh, we could try this one. Still kind of far, but half the distance of our last spawn when we were close, so... There's someone else coming ahead. Look, I need to get ahead of him. Come on. It's a race. Oh, no. I got stuck on the invisible wall. Come on, come on, come on, come on. That might be ahead of me now. Yep, yep. We're ahead of him. Let's go. Go, 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 go. It's literally a race. Is there a shredder in here? Oh, bro. That's a problem. Ooh, close. That was real close. Okay, nice. That makes things a little bit more complicated. Right, containers first. Ooh. Every time. Every time. That's a duplicate already, though, which is hilarious. Every time we've been in this room, we've left with an augment blueprint, which just goes to show the drop rate is really quite something. Okay. Up the stairs. Look at how many people are here already. I think that's a dupe. I'm not sure, actually. Oh. Nothing. I'm excited for a second. Oh, no way. Another one. 2 in 1. Now we're talking. All right, let's go. Let's extract. Nice. We got 2 in 1. Okay, this is the best spot. Like, the drop rate is absolutely phenomenal here. It's ridiculous. It cannot be beat. Just bear in mind that the competition is very high. But, you know, so far, 25 minutes in... Oh, he's on me, isn't he? 25 minutes in, we have we found 4 augment blueprints. Pretty exceptional. Wait. Yo, that guy's going ahead. No way he shoots me, dude. Watch out, bro. There's 2 shredders here. That's so crazy how contested this place is, dude. It's nuts. Everyone dying to get their hands on the survivor. Hilarious. Okay, one more here. Oh, we got one. Okay. We got 3 containers. Oh, the strat worked, dude. We tapped the container first, and then they don't know. They don't know. That's hilarious. So after 30 minutes, we found all of these augment blueprints and a light stick blueprint. So 30 minutes of gameplay, 7 blueprints, and all of them augments, which is pretty awesome. This is definitely a really good strategy. Just bear in mind, everyone else already knows it, and it's super competitive. Also, the survivor blueprint is one of the rarest, so you're going to get a lot of duplicates, like the defensive and the revival over and over again. But yeah, I would recommend it as a good blueprint strategy. On to the next strategy. Next up, I wanted to try a Hurricane. Looting the Hurricane caches can be a good way to get the Tempest, Volcano, Vita Spray, and a few other rarer blueprints, including the Bobcat, actually. Trouble is, I despise this. I spent 30 minutes to loot this, and oh my goodness, my ears feel like they're about to fall off. The hurricane noise is so loud, and the ticking cache noise is so quiet that it becomes really difficult to find the caches. Even if you use a map like Metaforge to locate exactly where they spawn, it can still be really, really challenging, and it was a miserable, horrible time. Sure, it's the only good way to consistently get the rarer weapon blueprints, but after looting a few caches, I only came out with 2 blueprints, a Vita Spray and an explosive mine, and the experience was miserable. I didn't enjoy it. I have to go back at some point later on to get the Tempest, Bobcat, and Volcano, but I wouldn't recommend it if you like your hearing. Okay, forget the Hurricane caches for a minute. What about the regular Uncovered Caches event? At least in this, you can actually hear where they come from. It's much more relaxing when you haven't got 500 miles per hour gale winds blowing in your eardrums. So yeah, I tried this instead, and it was a delight. The normal Uncovered Caches are great for early game wipe because they drop the light guns parts, medium gun parts, and heavy gun parts blueprints fairly commonly. They also drop the Osprey, Torrente, Venator, and Anvil, you know, all of the green tier and blue tier weapon blueprints, not the Canto, unfortunately. So it's a great place to get those consistently, and you also can build up a nice stack of herbal bandages here without blasting your eardrums. Overall, we spent 30 minutes and got 5 blueprints, and there's some pretty important ones for the early game, so I'm pretty happy with that. Not as good as the Augment run, but pretty decent. All right, we're going back to the Hurricane. I know, sounds stupid, but what if we loot inside buildings during a Hurricane event? Reason for it being, the Hurricane is a 2x modifier, and during 2x modifiers, you get a higher drop rate for high-level attachment blueprints, which means once everyone else is running around outside looking for Hurricane caches, making their eardrums bleed, we can be inside looting safely and maybe get out with more blueprints than any other condition. Let's try it out. I'm not going to bother with the Hurricane caches. There was one there, but oh my goodness, it's so hard to hear. I'm not going to bother right now. It's just painful. The Hurricane caches themselves are painful. We're going to run in through, check every single container we can. Honestly, though, it would be best if we come back here later. We want to try and get to the breach room first. It is still, without a doubt, one of the best spots for the augments. We're going to go there right now. Right, so we're going to start by just tapping all these containers, seeing what's inside. Nobody's here yet, so that's great. We'll take everything, see if we get any blueprints. I found that you've got about a 10% chance of getting a blueprint in here, whether that ends up being an augment or a complex gun parts. And that's not 10% for each container. That's 10% for each time you come here on average. So, you know, you're going to need to do a few runs. So that's our first blueprint, extended shotgun mag. So as you can see, that is the event-specific blueprint loophole there. We could have gotten that from any container in this event. Going to go like that. We got a shotgun. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go upstairs. There's a number of medical containers. Also, these are residential style containers, so might as well check those out as well. Quick little look. This is where you could get attachment blueprints as well here. These are industrial style containers, so you can get explosive blueprints in here. Okay. I'm not focusing on the actual loot right now, to be honest. I'm just going specifically for blueprints, so that's why I'm leaving behind a bunch of stuff. Raider style container here, so we could get things like Venator blueprints, etc. Venator, Osprey, Torrente. Yeah, more containers here. You could do the breaches as well, but they just take a little bit of time, and you're limiting yourself to the electrical style blueprint loophole when you go for those breaches in there, the server ones. That includes things like the tagging grenade, raider flare, light sticks, you know, things that aren't really too important to us. So we're not going to waste our time there. Two more augment style containers out here, so another chance to get these blueprints. So now that we've done that room, we can sort of start to take our time a little bit and focus on hitting up as many containers as possible. Raider style backpack here, so there's another Raider style container where we could get Raider style blueprints. Nothing there that time. Coming down here, we're going to start looting through the village containers. One of the best spots for sure. Okay. Just what you really want to do is think about how you improve your blueprint loot pool via map condition. And also think about how you could loot as many containers as possible via location. Right? So now we are here. We're going to just think about how many different residential style containers we can open in a short time. And how many blueprints that could end up being. Got patrol car key. That does spawn a lot in 2x events for some reason. Kind of a pain. It's okay. And the goal is pretty simple now. We're just going to go loot through all of these village houses. Being careful to step outside because it is windier out here. So it could actually mess you up a little bit. In fact, if I jump with the wind, I'll be able to get on here. Now we can jump down there. Ooh. Most people might be out looking for the hurricane caches because it's a really good way to find blueprints and also a bunch of loot early game, but my ears do not enjoy that experience. Okay, another blueprint. Nice. So that's a traditional blueprint loot pool for this residential style container. So this is not the blueprint loot pool of the map condition. It is a standard residential style blueprint there. What you can see is we've got two different blueprint loot pools happening at the same time. So when we do get a blueprint, it could pull into a vast variety of different things. And that way, hopefully we can find multiple blueprints in a single raid and end up getting a large variety of blueprints to start building up a collection as soon as possible. It's just going to help us progress. Instead of like focusing on one thing. For example, if you go to Stella a bunch of times, sure, you could get some good Stella blueprints like the Deadline and Secret Grenade, but once you've got them, you're just going to keep finding the same ones over and over again. We're casting a wide net to get as many variety of blueprints as possible in a short time, because we don't always have the most amount of time to play. We've also got another Raider-style container there as well. We'll check that out. Another blueprint coming in. There we go. So the blueprint drop rate also is quite high in Hurricane. So it's kind of like how good... Hold that was. This could be something. Another key. This is an alright key though. A patrol car key this time. Oh, nice. Okay, we'll take that. Okay, container here. Oh, another blueprint. Nice. Okay, gonna drop the patrol car key. Not a bad haul so far. After a full 30-minute run and extracting just at the end, we came out with 4 blueprints in total. So for 30 minutes, not bad. And we do have a nice chance of things like extended Medium Mag 3 or extended Light Mag 3 through this. So I'd rate it pretty highly. And it definitely beats looting the caches themselves in terms of just gameplay experience. Okay, how about this for a strategy? Surveyors can drop blueprints right in the core. There's about a 10% chance in my experience when killing surveyors in close scrutiny. And surveyors are everywhere in close scrutiny. The only trouble is there's also vaporizers and tons of arc. So you kind of need to build out a good loadout for this first and risk potentially dying. I went through a lot of surveyors in a 30-minute match and stayed right to the very end. Despite all of the surveyors we killed, we only came out with one blueprint. It was the smoke grenade, which is quite nice. What's cool about the surveyors is they have a really large variety of loot in terms of what blueprints can drop, including the survivor blueprint. But we didn't get lucky this time. If you have the gear to take out and you already have the survivor blueprint because you might get killed and need to crawl to an extract, then this could be a really good strat. Otherwise, it's a little bit risky. For that reason, I'll probably give it a 3-star. But it's quite fun if you got the gear. And then last but not least, I of course had to loot Stella Montis because this is one of the most loot-dense areas for getting Augment blueprints, and also it has all of these Stella Montis blueprints. So Seeker Grenades, Trailblazers, Deadlines, Gas Mines, and Pulse Mines. Those are very important blueprints, especially the Seeker and Deadline. Now, the best strat is to just spawn in with nothing and loot any container you can that's close to you, because everyone else is doing the exact same thing. If you try and travel across the map, by the time you get there, anything else would have been looted on the way. So it really is a case of just getting in, looting as many containers as you can next to you, and then getting out, rinsing and repeating. Good luck finding Augment blueprints here. You will get them if you get a good spawn, but if not, then you're not going to get access to these containers. There's just no chance. Whoever spawns closest will get access to them before you. In my 30 minutes, I didn't get much of a chance to loot the Augment containers. In the past, I have had a chance. It's all based on luck and RNG, but I did come out with a Seeker Grenade, Trailblazer blueprint here and there. So overall, it was all right, but this one's really going to come down to luck. A decent 3-star rating overall, and definitely necessary if you need to get those Seeker and Deadline blueprints. So with these strategies in mind, I was able to get around 30 blueprints just within 6 hours. And a little bit later, I did manage to get the Equalizer and Jupiter by completing the Harvester. And I got one more blueprint as well, the Survivor blueprint from Trials. Definitely do your Trials blueprints drop there like crazy. Yeah, if you have any other ideas for good blueprint loot routes, let me know in the comments, and I'd love to hear your blueprint experience so far this season. I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio.